Well, good morning, and thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited to talk to you about SunTrust and recruiting with a purpose. And I'll start off by telling you a little bit about myself. My name is Leigh Saxon, and I've been working with SunTrust for just over 3 years. I'm actually a California girl. Went to school at UC Santa Barbara and then lived in Los Angeles for about 13 years and went to work for the Coca-Cola company out in Atlanta about 18 years ago. And I'm telling you this because Coca-Cola is one of those companies where, you know, immediate recognition. You sit down, I would go into my office and I'd sit down and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so lucky to work here. I did all the worldwide marketing recruiting for the biggest, what I thought was the best marketing company in the whole world. How cool was I? So when we went through, Coke had some reorgs. I decided met my husband and ended up opening my own recruiting shop in Atlanta and did that for about 13 years. And then was enticed to come back to the world of corporate at SunTrust. And I want to talk a little bit about SunTrust because I'm not sure everyone is totally familiar with SunTrust, even though we're called a regional super bank, but in reality, we have offices across the country, including right here in San Francisco. Our SunTrust Robinson Humphrey Investment Bank has an office here in San Francisco. So as you see, you know, we're certainly not a small bank. We've got lots of clients. We touch 4.2 billion consumer households. Our main headquarters is in Atlanta, about 25,000 teammates. And this is why this story is exciting to me, because we touch these 25,000 teammates and we're touching so many more of our customers as well. So everything that we do at SunTrust starts with our purpose. So our purpose is much different than a mission statement, okay? It's not about, you know, we're gonna drive to their clients and give them the best service. It's really lighting the way to financial well-being. And that means something different to every single person. And to every person in this room, what is financial success or financial happiness is completely different. I would like to be able to have my kids graduate from college without debt. I don't know, you know, I'm sure everyone here has a story about their own, what success would look like to you personally. So we thought about that at SunTrust. And when you go to bed at night, most people say it's money that keeps you up at night. How are you going to pay the bill? How are you going to send the kids to school? How are you going to pay for retirement? So the statistics are actually quite fascinating that 75% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck regardless of their salary. So just because someone's making $50,000 a year or $500,000 a year, people are living paycheck to paycheck. So we were astounded by that, right? So as a bank, we want people to succeed. Yes, do we want you to bank with us? Absolutely. If you need a checking account, come and see us. But we also thought, well, you know what? This really drives into our purpose. But how do we start? We have to start internally with our teammates. So what we did is last year, in January of 2015, we introduced a program to our own teammates called the 8 Pillars program. And so what that did is that allowed our own teammates to go into a website, learn, literally, the first thing you do is learn what your worth is. Within this program, we put some carrots in there for our teammates as well. So we said if you make less than $60,000 a year, and you complete the first 4 pillars of this program, we're going to deposit into your savings account $400. Well, the first cool thing that happened is in January, we had, of our own teammates that work at SunTrust, we had 12,000 new savings accounts opened. 12,000. That's unbelievable. And then in March, we deposited $3 million into our own teammates' accounts for completing those first 4. So we started hearing all these stories from our teammates. People, the success stories, people who paid off debt, people who were able to buy a car to go get a new job at a different location, at a different branch, and be an area manager instead of a branch manager. So all these really neat stories were starting to come out about what was happening. So we took a look and said, you know what, this is going pretty well. So we actually bought the company. We bought 8 Pillars, and the gentleman who started the company, his name is Brian Ford, is now working for SunTrust in Atlanta and driving the program. And so then what happened is that we brought that in, bought the company, and by the end of March 2016, we then deposited another $4 million into those people who finished the entire program. The next cool thing we did was said, you know what? This is such an amazing program that what we're going to do is now offer it to our wholesale business partners, our clients. So we're going to say, hey, you know what, EMC, if you guys need something to work, you want something to give back to your employees, partner with us, let us give you this program, and we give it to our clients for free. So they can then give it to their teammates to improve their lives. So it's what we're calling a movement, right? So it's grown from a purpose to a movement. So you're probably going, well, what in the world does this have to do with recruiting, right? So when you look at why people join companies, why do they join? Is it for, sure, it could be where they are, it could be what the job is, but really, if you look at millennials, okay, some of the things that they're asking us for, more. Like, what is this? What are we doing? What is the company doing for the community? What are they doing for me? That's a big one, right? And then even all the way up to, I know we all have millennials we have to deal with, and I'm sure we're having a conversation about that later. And if we're not, we'll make sure that we can all huddle up together and talk about our millennials. And then you also have your executive level, right? So all the way up to the executive floor, people who are looking for that last job also want something more than, right? They're not looking for just is it a paycheck? It could be to people, but we're not gonna hire you, right? We want you to come in, we want you to be a big part of our culture and be that culture carrier for us. So that's why I'm excited today to talk to you a little bit about this too. So we're trying to change the conversation about money. Money has always been such a taboo subject, right? No one talks about their paycheck, no one talks about their bills, no one talks about why you rent versus buy a house or lease a car or buy a car, used, new. But the conversation has to change. The economy has to change. So at SunTrust, we're really pushing the word out to people to say, start talking about it. Start having the conversations. Have the conversations with your kids. Have the conversations with your parents. We all have that relative who we know isn't taking care of their money right. So, I mean, I know I do. And so I sent the link to my niece, who's in her 20s, who can't possibly, put 2 and 2 together. And so she's actually started to really improve her financial stance. So I want to show you, this is actually a video, and it's the background of how we made our Super Bowl ad that we ran this year, which is a big deal for us. So.
This spot is about financial confidence. It's bringing to life the sentiment and the essence of what all my teammates at SunTrust have been working on for so many years.
And what's exciting for me about this spot is that it really is based on trying to identify and show those special moments that we all want to enjoy. And by relieving financial stress, we're going to enable people to really experience those moments to the fullest potential.
This is not an ad campaign. We are launching a movement for SunTrust. And we're doing this through 1,000 different touch points. Those experiences are helping people understand that OnUp can help them get to a better place. We want people to tell their friends and their families to go to onup.com and join this movement and spread the word.
SunTrust is about helping people move from financial stress to financial confidence. And so what we're showing is a sort of patchwork quilt of all of the moments that you can actually connect to.
And really, it's not just a campaign, but it's a movement, and it's like a purpose-driven movement, just trying to get people to really understand the stress that they have and the way they think about money.
And it's really a magical moment when you can stop worrying about what you don't have. You can start enjoying the things that you do have. And it's really beautiful, and somehow Dante picks it up every time.
He's doing an amazing job at like finding different ways to light different things and different casts and making sure it's diverse, and it really does touch upon everybody and everything.
Whether you're a millennial all the way up to retirement, that people have financial stress throughout their entire lives, and if we can enable people to take those steps toward confidence, we'll be successful at what we're trying to accomplish.
That's kind of behind the scenes look at a commercial we did. So a big deal for us that in January, it was our first national ad that we ran as an organization, and we did it at the 2-minute warning for the Super Bowl. What? Oh yeah, I'm like something's in the background. So, and what's interesting is in that movie was our chief marketing officer, Susan Johnson, who joined us about 1.5 years ago. And I was part of the team that recruited her. And the cool part is that it's really a big reason why she joined SunTrust. She was the chief marketing officer at NCR. She was at a technology company, and she came to SunTrust because she believed in the purpose, right? So that was a huge part of her decision making, was that. And so Scott Parker, who is here with me and works with me at SunTrust, was a big part of why Corinne, who you also saw in the video, of why she joined. So it's part of what we do, and whether, especially with the executives, when we're hiring a large executive into the organization, and we hire about 100 or so of them a year, to bring them up, we have on our executive floor, we have a purpose wall. And it's live, people are doing tweets, they're emailing, they're saying their success stories, they're talking about their businesses, and it's inspirational, it's moving. I bring people to tears, but it really is a way for you as recruiters and in talent acquisition to move your companies to a different level. It's not just a job that we're offering them, right? And we talk about culture all the time. What is culture? Are they a good fit? We say, who says that every day? Are you a good fit? That's part of our little, little check the box. Are they a good fit? Well, this really puts it in a totally different perspective, right? So I can tell while talking to someone if they're going to be that culture champion, that culture carrier for the organization, because, when you talk about culture, and you want those people to be part of it, but if you don't have anything for them to believe in, to pull for, to pull together, then it kind of just dies on the vine, right? It's just something that we talk about. It just becomes rhetoric. And what our movement has done and what the purpose has done, lighting the way to financial well-being, has taken a group of 25,000 individuals who work for SunTrust and bonded us all together because we truly are working for the purpose. And that's not just about me, it's about how I touch you and how I can help you get to this website to help yourselves, help your family, help your companies be better. And so it's a very, I'm extremely passionate about it. I think it's something that other companies have the opportunity to really harness, to hold on to. If you don't have a purpose or a mission or something you're working towards for your company, I strongly urge you to talk to your executives and talk to your CEOs if you have access, and talk to them about what you're doing. What is culture, and how does what you're doing even drive that culture for you? So this is some other examples of some of the successes that we had with this within our organization. So 14,000 teammates enrolled in the entire program. we had 7,500 open an additional emergency savings account. That's part of the program. In addition to a regular savings account, we want people to have an emergency savings account because unfortunately, the majority of us do not have $2,000 saved for an emergency that you can just go and use in case your car breaks and you have a family emergency. The numbers are quite staggering. So 70% of the people that created a budget are actually following your budget. How many of us have created budgets? And then, the next day we're like, oh, those shoes are so cute. So the national average is 37% of people who actually follow their budgets. So, and then 73% have taken action to improve their credit score. So, and everyone needs a better credit score, and it's amazing to do one or two things that will improve your credit score. So again, this is, it was designed for our teammates to help get people in control of their finances, because if your people who work for you come to work every day stressed out because they don't know how they're going to pay their mortgage next month because they bought the really cute shoes. And you don't want that, right? They're not going to be effective in their jobs. They're not going to be happy. It totally affects their mental capacity to even deal with other people, including your customers. So again, it's easy. It's been fantastic. And the most exciting part now is I'm so happy that we're able to bring it to our clients. So, and kind of to wrap up, I wanted to share with you that finished product of our SuperBowl ad. And it's interesting to actually, when they say hold your breath, try to hold your breath and see what it feels like physically and mentally when you get to let it go.
Hold your breath. Hold it. Hold it. What you're feeling now is just like financial stress. It's like you're drowning. Meanwhile, the moments that matter slip away. SunTrust is about to help America catch its breath by lighting the way to financial confidence. So now, let go and breathe. Feel that relief? Take the first step. Join the movement at onup.com.
To kind of show you how we're kind of actually turning all of this into action and to, with the millennials, so with our university relations. So I head up our university relations, and I head up all of our executive level staffing as well. So I always tell our intern class that, I'm really happy to see you, but you're going to be really happy to see me later. So I'm the start and the end. But we've actually partnered with with several universities across the country, and one of those being FIU, which is Florida International University, located in Miami. And we have donated money to create a literacy lab on campus. So not only is it helpful for the students, but the students are bringing in people from the community to come in and learn how to budget, how to plan for retirement, what is a 401k. I mean, from soup to nuts when it comes to financial literacy. So we're doing that. We've also made a large donation and helped Ohio State create a capital markets lab. And companies from all over the country are coming in and creating this cool think tank. Well, we're going to put our money and our time and our resources where we're having those investments, right? So when we go to FIU, they have a partnership with us, we have a partnership with them. It's not only having our purpose really come to life, but it's also recruiting at its finest, right? And doing something, and I know it sounds silly, but I mean, we are doing something that is really helpful for the community, for the world, and I couldn't be more proud to work at SunTrust. And I told you the story about Coke, and it ties in here because I would go in every day to my job at Coke and sit there and go, God, I love this place. I'm so happy to be here. Well, I can tell you that probably, I guess it was last summer when everything started really kind of cooking up with the purpose, that I came into work and I went, oh my God, I feel it again. I'm really happy and so proud of the company I work for. Look at what we're doing. Banks were so perceived as, the evil banks, and, we all watch The Big Short, and, but we're really trying to, create and be more to the community and the world around us. So I would encourage you, again, if it's something that you think that your companies could, reach out, and you think that you may need something like this for your teammates and for the people who work for you, check it out, try it out. You can find all the information that you need at onup.com. And that's really about it for me. I'm sure you can tell I'm so passionate about this. Does anyone have any questions about anything that we're doing and that we've done?
I love how passionate you are about your brand, and it's something that we're trying to do right now where I work. And I'm just curious how you're communicating all the things that you're doing internally for your employees back to your candidates as a way of helping to recruit top talent.
We have touch points all along the way of our recruiting process. We have flyers, we send them the links. We talk about the programs. Whenever I'm on just doing, if it's a phone screen, if it's a face-to-face, I am talking about it because truly those are the kind of people who we want to have work for us. So we have planned out touch points all along the way that include topics on lighting the way to financial well-being as well as the On-Up movement.
And also our leadership teams, our executive leadership team projects it as well.
Yeah,
so
it's really
it's not
a
just
top-down.
coming from talent acquisition, it's actually coming from all sides. So.
Yeah. So I always get so excited because when you have a great candidate in and that's the one and they're seeing like 5 people, and at the end when you follow up with them and they go, yeah, it was really interesting. You guys all have kind of the same thing to say about lighting the way to financial well-being and the purpose, and you're like, yes, they did it, thank God. So it's definitely something that we have baked into the recruiting process that they all talk about it. And we have what's called our corporate flag that sits in pretty much every conference room that talks about lighting the way to financial well-being, as well as our corporate values. So it really is something that we all truly live and believe in. I'm sure, can we pause the recording? But I think that if we all put as much energy into revenues as we do into into passion, like with On Up, I mean, the company would just explode. So it's exciting. So any other questions?
Have you developed questions within your recruiting process to see if the candidates align with the purpose as well?
So we haven't developed any specific targeted questions, more so around talking to them about the purpose, about who we are, and then also talking to them about what kind of culture they fit in best. Where did they, those questions that aren't necessarily, did you like where you worked, but what place did you feel most comfortable in and why? And you can hear, you can see from people's community outreach of what they've done, but we don't have anything targeted for questions that people fit in.
Do you have any, assessments, personality assessments, or anything that you do throughout the recruitment process to kind of target those qualities or values?
We do have an assessment that we do for our executive level. It's an external company that's been working with us for about 30 years. So they have assessed all of our executives, kind of know what we're looking for in that particular role, and are able to it's not only an intelligence, but it's also, kind of diving down deep into, what your goals, desires, how you work with people, et cetera. And it's like a 4-hour assessment that we put people through. So, yeah. But yes, that ties into it.
So we're pretty fortunate to have a similar mission and have social and economical impact on our customers. So
What company are you with?
Opportune.
Okay.
So we can go into it later.
Okay.
But the challenge for me sometimes is positioning the organization, no matter how good the mission is, with millennials versus executives. Executives tend to want a purpose and a mission, where millennials, out here especially, we're competing with Facebook and Twitter and some of the cooler, sexier companies.
Mm-hmm.
For you, is there a strategy to attract millennials versus executives, or is it a similar strategy when it compares to or comes to the mission itself?
It's actually kind of a beautiful thing because it does stretch from millennials to executives, and you can really see it when we're on campus. And again, the financial literacy labs that are provided. We've actually, this is a really cool tool that we've also worked on with Georgia State, and it's an algorithm that will actually let you know by a series of events when a student is going to drop out of school. Okay, so those are the type of investments that we're making in our universities that we partner with. When we go on campus and we talk to the students, it's also about come make a difference with us. Like, it's not just about, you know, yes, do we have credit cards to sell? Yes, do we have checking and savings accounts? But those tools, those products, they lead to a stronger, better financial economy. And as kind of self-centered as millennials tend to be, that still resonates with them because, you know, at some point, maybe they are going to inherit mom and dad's money. Well, what are you going to do with it? You know, are they aware that when you inherit money, that typically only goes for a generation and then it's gone, right? So it seems to have really resonated on all levels and it all, and from start to finish. It's fascinating. So because it's not only helping you, but it's helping someone else.
Any additional questions?
Great. Well, you guys, thank you so much for taking the time to let me share my passion about SunTrust and our UnUp movement. If you have any questions or want to talk about anything afterwards, just let me know. Thank you.